Hello and welcome to the channel. Today I want to talk to you about some garage changes we've made, a couple cars that we've added. I added a 2019 Range Rover Sport HSE. I'm going to do a full review on that car and a side-by-side comparison, comparing it to the BMW X5 that I have, so you can see some of the differences. And then I have a very special addition to the garage, a 2020 GR Supra. Let's take a look. Let's take a look inside the Supra. I'll show you how the controls work on the car. As you can see, it's a pretty tight cockpit inside the car all around. But you've got the leather stitch dash here. This car is a premium package, so you've got the larger screen. It's 8.8-inch display screen. Down here, these are all the same controls in my BMW X5. These are all your radio controls here, and this is all your AC controls down here. Down in here, underneath this little flap, that's your wireless charging pad there. You can see you have carbon fiber trim inside the car. You have the same iDrive that's in the BMW, and basically the same shifter as in the BMW. And down here you've got, that's where it cuts off, where the car won't cut off on you at a stoplight. That puts it in sport mode. And then this is a button here that tells you all your safety functions are on and working. Turn your traction control off, turn your parking sensors off, and this is your e-brake here as well. We come over, the controls on the steering wheel are the same as in the X5. You've got the mode button to go to different modes, up and down on your radio, it's voice command, answer your phone. Then you come over here, this particular car has the driver assist package, so it has distance-based cruise control. So this is where you can set the distance that you stay behind the car that you're following. This sets the cruise control. This changes your speed up and down for there. The controls on the car are the same as the BMW. This one's the same. This car has auto high beams, which you can activate right there. And then your wiper stalk over here, like I said, is the same as the BMW. And then here's your dash. Let's shut this door and start her up. Car's a start button right here. You can see how the display is. You have your fuel over here, your engine temperature over here, then of course your tach is in the middle. It displays your speed right over here to the side. It has a manual adjustable steering wheel. It's power seats on both sides. Your power window switches. It does have folding mirrors, so you can push this button. Your mirrors will fold in for you. Also, when you lock the car, you can program it to fold those mirrors in, and that's a nice feature. So when you walk away from your car and you can't remember if you locked it or not, and the key's already in your pocket, you can look back, and if your mirrors are folded up, you know you have locked the car. Then we can press this button again, and take the mirrors back out. Got your lock and unlock buttons right there. These seats are really nice seats. They're very comfortable. This side support, you can adjust this in or out. The bottom of the seat is stationary. That doesn't move at all. This particular car has the JBL sound system. It's 12 speakers and 500 watts of power. And you can see these big speakers in the back of the car. And also you can get a pass-through, so you can stick things in the back hatch from being inside the car. Then you've got just a little compartment holder and cup holders here as well. And then your glove boxes over here. There's this doesn't raise or lower. This is all stationary right here on the car. You've got the regular home link buttons to control your garage door. This car has the SOS feature in it. So if you break down or you're in an accident, you can either contact roadside assistance or they'll call 911 if your airbags deploy in the car. It's a nice feature. And then this screen is like in the BMW, where you can go to different settings. You can flip it side to side, and you've got your vehicle, and you can touch that, and it'll tell you different settings that you can control on the car with it. And then if you can touch this button right here, it'll take you back to the home link button. You got connected services in the car, and for instance, it's showing you the day and what the weather's going to be here. Then some onboard information, your miles per gallon, your average miles per hour, some different functions. This is all very similar to the BMW. I don't see a big difference in the way this works. And like I said, you can control it by the iDrive down here as well. You've got your different buttons with the media and your communications, your menu, your map system, the option button you can pull up, and then the back button just to go back to the previous screen that you were on. So that'll give you a good idea what the interior of the car is like. It's very compact. You'll notice that the windows are not very tall, so you really have to watch when you're getting in and out of it, you don't bump your head. And I don't know if you can tell, but up here you've got this kind of drops down, so these are raised up higher to give you more headroom on each side. The same over here, and then this here in the middle is dropped down. I don't know if you can really tell, but they made it like that. All right, let's take some more looks on the outside and get a better idea of what this car really has. Taking a look on the side of the car, this is pretty interesting. It's got this piece that kind of sticks out along the side of the door. Once again, it's got this insert, doesn't do anything, but it gives the car a really racy look to it. I don't know exactly what you would call this, but the way it protrudes out is pretty cool looking. Then you've got this rocker panel at the bottom. The door handle is exactly the same as on my BMW, and the way you do the keyless entry on the car and to lock the car is exactly the same that I have on the BMW. As you'll see here, it's pretty short windows, so you have to watch getting in and out so you don't hit your head on the car. It's tight inside, it's small on the inside. And then I don't know if you can tell, but this roof is kind of like a bubble roof. On each side, it sticks up, and in the middle here, it drops down. You'll see better when I take a picture of the back of the car, you'll see it. And this is to give the occupants inside the car more headroom. You can get a better look at the difference on the wheels on the car. They're like a black and chrome combination on the wheels. It's good looking. Same here in the back. And the way this slopes, these protrude out. These wheel arch here, it's pretty massive on the back of the car. It gives it a really aggressive look on the back. On the rear of the car, this is pretty cool. It has the Formula One inspired light on the back, and this is actually your backup light on the car. And then it's got some diffusers here in the back, pipes on each side, some diffusers down here. The one thing about this rear hatch on the car is that the hatch on this car, there's no control underneath here to open it up. The only way you can open the control on the hatch is from either a button on the inside or on your key. You pop it here, raise it up. It has a little cover here to disguise things. Inside you've got pretty good room, and you can pass through up into the front seats from in the back, which is a nice feature. It would definitely hold a couple of weekend bags and that type of thing, and maybe a small cooler in there. And then to close it, you just got your hand up here, just bring it down to shut it down. It's a good tight fit. The taillights in the back, these are interesting as well. They protrude out about 3 inches or so to make it almost look like the bumper is kind of shoved into the car a little bit. Just gives it a more distinct look. You got your GR badge on the bottom down here. Nice slope to the back on the glass of the car. The visibility on the car is, I'd say so-so. It's not great, but it's not terrible either. And maybe you can tell from here the way this roof, and it dips down here in the middle. So each side is higher, and you've got this dip down in the side, and then once again you've got these protruding fender wells on the back that give it a really racy look on the back. I was very excited to be able to obtain one of these 2020 GR Supras. As you know, they're very hard to find. They came out with 1,500 cars at the beginning, and they were called the Launch Edition. It's basically the exact same car. They came in some different color combinations, and some of them had red leather interior that you can only get on the Launch Edition. It also had a badge on the dash that said it's number 105 out of 1,500. Other than that, they're the same car. It's the same engine, same transmission, everything's the same. The Launch cars, they're asking a big premium for those cars. I really don't know why. 1,500 cars is a lot of cars. You know, if they built, 200 or 300, I can see it might be worth to pay a little bit over for one of those. But 1,500, I don't think it's that big a deal. The 2020 Supra is very interesting. This car has a 3-liter inline 6-cylinder turbocharged engine that Toyota says produces 335 horsepower. It's the same engine that I have in my BMW X5. It's mated to an 8-speed transmission, and that's the same transmission that I have in my BMW X5 as well. From everything I've read and watched DDE and Vehicle Virgins with their cars on the dyno at VF Engineering, Toyota's lying about the output of this engine. It's producing more horsepower than what they're claiming. In fact, it's producing almost 335 horsepower at the wheels, and they're quoting a crank horsepower of 335. I'm going to do some modifications to this car, just like the other guys are doing. I'm starting off with the downpipe from AFE Power, and then also I'm going to do a tune from VF Engineering. The tune from VF Engineering on this car will increase the horsepower at the crankshaft to 450 horsepower and 520 foot-pounds of torque. It's a big increase. It's not a huge increase over what the manufacturer's saying, because the manufacturer's not telling the truth about what the true horsepower is on this car. As you can see on the front end, it has LED headlights. There are actually 6 individual lights here, and then it has a daytime running light that comes and goes all the way across on both sides here. And you've got this front splitter on the car, some intakes here, and these intakes here are just for looks. Nothing goes through these. These are solid. They're not open whatsoever. If you come around on the side of the car, you can see the car has 19-inch wheels that are standard. It comes with Pilot Super Sport tires. This is the only wheel that's available on this car. And then you have another scoop up here on the hood, and this is strictly for looks. There's nothing that this does. It's totally sealed. It has a long nose on the car because it's got the inline 6-cylinder engine. The power that this car produces without any modifications to it is really mind-blowing. The power that this car pulls, you can really feel it when you get on it. Let's talk about the price of this car. This car was $57,100 was the MSRP. This car had a option from the factory that had like an OptiCoat paint protection on it, was one of the options. It had some interior protection put on it. But the only true option from the factory is the driver assist package, which was $1,195. It gives you distance-based cruise control. It gives you blind spot monitoring where it'll drive you back into the lane. It has lane keep assist. It has cross-traffic detection in the rear, and also it will brake you if you're not braking in a car's coming in the rear as part of that driver assist package. This particular car, the color is called Absolute Zero. It has black leather interior, and these cars come with every feature that you can think of standard. Power seats on both sides, memory seats, dual zone climate control, wireless charging pad, rain sensing wipers. It's got auto high beams. Another big thing this car has is it has Apple CarPlay, but it's wireless Apple CarPlay. So you can take your phone and slide it into that wireless charging pad and turn on Waze on a trip, and you can display your maps and your directions on your screen, the 8.8-inch screen that it has. while at the same time your phone's charging, so you don't have to plug it in every time and worry about your battery going dead on your phone to be able to use different apps on your phone. Just lay it on the charging pad and then pull up the apps on Apple CarPlay. A lot of dealers are asking over sticker for these cars. I paid MSRP for mine. The launch edition cars, they're asking crazy numbers, up to like $20,000 over sticker for the car, and it's basically the exact same car. It doesn't have that little badge on the dash that says one of whatever. So I don't think that's worth it. But if you can find one of these, I'd pick one up. It's a lot of bang for the buck. I mean, at $57,000, it's got great performance. The car handles super. And then if you want to do any upgrades to the car, I mean, between a downpipe and a tune, you're going to spend about $2,000 to get all that done, or maybe a little bit under. And you're going to get 450 horsepower and 520 foot-pounds of torque out of a car that you got $60,000 in. In the latest magazine where they tested the best driver's car, the Supra came in last out of the 12 cars, but it was $100,000 cheaper than all the competitors except for the Mustang. And I'd certainly take a Supra over the Mustang. But the Porsche won it, and you know I'm a big Porsche guy and I love it. The Porsche was a Carrera S. It was $142,000. So $142,000 versus $57,000. I love the Porsche, and I'm not saying the Porsche is overpriced. I'm just saying that this car is a good buy for the money. Well, I hope you enjoyed the review of this car today, and I told you some things that you didn't know about this car. And once again, it's a fabulous car, and if you get a chance to buy one, I'd do it in a heartbeat. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you like this video, click the thumbs up button. And if you got any comments, leave them below. And I'll see you on the next video.